So let's go to Legacy Hack. Listeners, viewers, subscribers. We want more subscribers. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We have had a little bit of a gap. Don't hold that against us. Please forgive us. All right. But we're back. Jack and I are. And today we want to tackle a topic that honestly is probably the unsung hero to life insurance, especially it's probably a little not even talked about within the infinite banking world
Yeah.
at all. But I know that we see a lot of value with this and we see a lot of power with it as well. And so Jack and I, we're going to kind of riff today on the power of the term policy. Okay. Now, before I go any further, remember we actually talk about Jack, help me out. We talk about three things on our channel here. We talk about the tactical or nuts and bolts thing. This is going to be kind of one of those conversations right here.
Yep.
And then we talk about a little bit of mindset and attitude within the actual infinite banking, family banking world. And then we talk about stories. Okay,
Yeah.
stories of actually individuals that have actually done that and had experience doing it and their successes, losses, all the different things that kind of go along with infinite banking. So today we want to talk about the power of the term policy. So, Jack, I teed you up. Tell me your thoughts
Yeah.
right there, buddy.
Love it. Um, I guess I'll start by saying, like, with infinite banking, we're using life insurance to do that. It's a permanent policy, typically whole life, but you can use IUL as a banking system too. But when we're structuring those policies, we're structuring it around how much premium can you fund into this policy, and then how can we structure it so that the death benefit is the minimum it can be to still be life insurance, so that the majority of your premium is showing up in the cash value, which you have access to, can borrow against and use for the banking process. And because of that, we aren't necessarily solving the death benefit need of the client through that policy, like what your family actually needs if you happen to pass early. Like, because, yeah, typically you want to replace income for at least 10 years, pay off the house, set some aside for each kid. Um, and that's where a term policy enters the conversation, because term does a few great things. It provides you a cheaper death benefit for a set period, usually 10, 20, or 30 years. But it also locks in your health rating of when you issue that policy. So if something happens to you a few years down the road, whether that's, yeah, like diabetes, a massive injury, or something like that that makes you uninsurable in the eyes of the carrier, you can convert that term policy into a permanent policy without additional underwriting. So because you had that health rating when you issued that term policy, they'll give you that same health rating on a permanent policy, which the death benefit then lasts your whole life, not just that set term, which can be really valuable for people when something unexpected does come up health wise. Um, that was a lot, and I'm almost touching the part that really matters of, yeah, you can grow with your permanent policies with this term policy by converting a portion of the term death benefit into either a new permanent policy or an existing policy if it's an IUL, so that you can kind of increase your premium that you're paying into the permanent policy as income likely grows as you get older.
Yep.
So that's my really quick touch all the points flyover. What insights do you have to add? Yeah,
No,
any questions around that, Tyler?
you covered them, Jack. I mean, I think the number one thing is it gives you flexibility.
Hmm.
Okay. And number two, it locks in your health rating, right?
Yep.
That those two pieces right there, because uh, the health rating is important because you ain't getting no life insurance at all if you ain't getting no health rating. Okay. I mean, let's just, you
Yeah.
know, call it for that because, the whole premise of this infinite banking is based upon a life. This is
Hmm.
just how it works. So that's the first thing. But the flexibility side of that is really, I mean, I can use myself as an example. I can use several others I can use. For me, when I first initially actually got my permanent policy in place, Ryan actually suggested, hey, why don't we go ahead and, see what we can get as far as a term, just in case, you had some cash that came in that we needed to convert, okay, to a
Hmm.
permanent policy. And it gave me that easy side of that to be able to convert that. I've had other people where that they liked the idea of, and I'll wrap up with the story here. I had a gentleman. He likes the idea, and we're actually, you and I are working on him right now. He likes the idea of this whole infinite banking, family banking, but he's still got questions on it. But his immediate need is he needs insurance to cover his family.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're actually setting up, a term policy for him, but at the same time, we're utilizing a very small death benefit with an IUL so he can actually start to create his bank, so to speak.
Hmm.
And then he can also convert that term to a permanent policy into the IUL that we're suggesting to him so that he has that. So I thought that we would just talk about that and just kind of mention this, that this is a viable option that most people don't talk about in the infinite banking world at all.
Hmm.
And it's very powerful.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll add like most a high percentage, I want to say over 50% of Americans don't have any like personal life insurance. So yeah, like we've had stories at this point on our Unbridled Wealth team of young spouses, both husbands and wives with young kids passing away, and a term death benefit is a game changer in that situation to actually be able to pause and grieve and not need to go right back to work because that's your only source of capital. So, yeah, I'll
Amen to
throw
that.
that in as a last point.
Yeah. So yeah. So Jack has got a baby crying in the background. So we're going to wrap this episode up, which is totally fine. But guys, look, here at Legacy Hack, if you find any of this interesting or find any of this, like worth exploring, Jack and I's Calendly links are down below that you can just schedule a time at your convenience that best works with your schedule and set up a time with us. We'd love to have a conversation uh, around this because we're more of an education side to be able to help you get what you want, for your bank that you'd be actually setting up. So, without further ado, Jack, let's put a bow on this and let's land this plane. So that's it, my man.
There we go. Thanks, Tyler.